Hi FlossTube friends, this is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Tuesday, July 19th at approximately 10:20 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you today with what I hope is going to be kind of a quick little update. But I'm just coming to you today with a FlossTube update, meaning this is going to be about my cross stitching and stuff. So, hi everybody. If you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you'll find something here that you can get some use out of, and you will enjoy your time that you spend here with me today. This is my channel where I talk about cross stitch, some of the other hobbies that I do, including crafts, other crafts that I have, including diamond painting. I also talk a little bit about my life, a little bit about my interests, including ghost hunting and some other stuff that I do. So I encourage you to sit back, relax with your favorite drink of choice, maybe a stitching project, and sit here and stitch with me. If you're a returning watcher, thank you very much for coming back. It's always fun to spend time with friends, and hopefully you will decide to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. I always have fun spending time with good friends. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you're a new watcher or just a returning watcher but you have not yet subscribed, I encourage you to click the subscription button below and to also click the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new content. Sorry the light's flickering, it's the fluorescent light that's above my desk. Anyway, I got some updates for you today, including a little bit of life updates that I'm going to be sharing with you, and some haul and some stitching progress updates and some plans going forward. So sit back, relax, grab a notebook and a pen just in case there's something here that I mentioned that you want to jot down, and we'll see you soon. So little quick update. On Sunday we had a very stormy Sunday morning, and I was the only one up here in the house on Sunday morning. And I opened the window behind my stitching chair, and I got my tablet out, and I recorded a Stitch With Me video. I don't think I've done a Stitch With Me video pretty much since I was last at my in-laws' house back on the Ohio River, sometime in 2018, maybe 2019. And I just wanted to do it. It was kind of a neat little video. I don't know how the sound's going to be, but I'm in the process of putting it through the editor to save it for a YouTube file, and once that is ready to go and I feel okay with it, I'm going to go ahead and upload it to YouTube. So you'll be seeing the Stitch With Me video hopefully tonight. I don't know when this particular update video will be coming out, hopefully in a day or two, but anyway, if you click that notification bell at the bottom of my video here in the description box, you will be notified when any videos get uploaded. But be sure you're a subscriber, otherwise I don't think you'll get those notifications, or I don't even think that you can request notifications. Sorry, my glasses, these are just Dollar Tree, little basic throwaway Dollar Tree reading glasses. They're kind of giving me a little bit of a headache right in here where the earpiece is, so that's kind of weird. But anyway, tonight's video I will have some stitching progress updates, some haul to show you, and talk about something new to me in the stitching realm, and also talk about some plans that I have coming up and some new retreat information that I have come across for you for next year. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, grab a snack if you choose, grab your stitching project, sit back and stitch, and we'll kind of get into it. So as I said before, I have a little bit of a life update. 2 weeks ago I was outside in our side yard and I was trimming hedges. I was trimming hedges with our electric trimmer, and I was doing this, you know, with the trimmer up and around this kind of tall bush, and all of a sudden on my side down here, you're not going to be able to see it very well, but anyway, this side, my left side, I felt this really sharp sting, and it hurt like a mother. It hurt really bad. And I knew instantly that I got stung by something. Wasn't sure what it was. But my husband was outside also, kind of heard me complaining and just getting kind of angry about it. And I had set the trimmer down, the hedge trimmer, and I was starting to walk around towards the front of the house to go inside because I didn't want to get attacked again. My husband's like, "What's wrong?" And I was walking kind of weird with my arm up. I was like, "I think I just got stung." And he walked into the bathroom with me, and sure enough, I got stung. I had a welt about 6 inches long and about 2 inches tall on the side, and it hurt for like ever that day. Probably for a good 5 or 6 hours. I had a sensation of somebody taking a bunch of hot, really sharp, hot needles doing this all over my side, up and down my side. It hurt really bad. And then it started to itch, and it was hot and inflamed. It was probably like that for a good week. Finally, by Friday last week, so that was a week ago Sunday, Friday last week, it was started, the redness had gone away, but it was still kind of itching. And so over this past weekend, the itch kind of went away, but my husband thinks that I got stung by a yellow jacket. And what I didn't realize is that yellow jackets, unlike mosquitoes, I thought it would be more like a mosquito bite and it would itch really bad for a day or two and then go away. No, apparently they inject venom, essentially, as opposed to anticoagulant like mosquitoes do. And the mosquito bites itch because of the anticoagulant. The venom stings because it's poison. So, joy. At least I didn't have a worse reaction than the welt and the, the pain. My husband gave me a Zyrtec pretty much within about 5 minutes after it happening, and was watching my breathing and stuff until until we could determine that I wasn't going to have a reaction to it, and then he wouldn't let me finish edging the bushes. So that was that. We went out of town a couple weekends ago since my last video. We went down to the Marietta, Ohio area, down where my in-laws lived, for the weekend. It was July 4th weekend we went down there. And on Sunday, the 3rd of July, we took my in-laws' ashes and we poured them in the Ohio River. It was a nice little family event. We had a little memorial at the park for them. Quite a few of their friends showed up that we haven't seen in a while, and we all got to visit and just kind of hang out. But yeah, it was a really nice visit, really nice day, and yeah, so can play a little bit of the video for you. So you can see here, that's my niece. I'm probably not going to upload it, but anyway, we took both of their ashes and put them in a big box, and we kind of gathered at the river that's down in front of their house in Williamstown, West Virginia, and placed them in the river. This is my husband's stepsister, and that big box is the box that's holding the ashes.
Their aunt flew backwards all over them. Yeah. Oh. My daughter just told me, said, you better be careful because when down, sometimes they just go.
So anyway, let me go ahead. Oops.
They're talking, so.
But anyway, so we were able to get their ashes in the water. It was a really nice day, and we had a great time. Got to visit with family and friends that we haven't seen in a little while because we just haven't been down there. It's pretty much been a year since we've been down there. We were down there last June for another event that I went down there for, but that was pretty much the last time that we'd been down there. So my husband and I had a really nice weekend. We came home on Monday the 4th and then spent Monday the 4th with Mom. And it was a great time. While I was there, I did go on the ghost hunt with Hidden Marietta at the Anchorage Mansion, and that was a lot of fun. I did that on Saturday night. We drove down there Saturday afternoon, checked into the hotel, hung out, you know, met a couple of friends, and I went on my ghost hunt. And then Sunday morning we got up and went to breakfast, and went and, you know, spread the ashes in the river, had the memorial, and then went to dinner with some family, and it was a lot of fun. But anyway, the other new life update is, so my job outside the home, you know, we went back into the office 3 days a week, starting in March-ish or so. So we've been in the office 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday every week. There is another office location here in Columbus with several thousand people working at it, and they're bringing the other teams that are in that office that are under our management umbrella over to our building as of August 1st. So to consolidate everybody under our management umbrella in the same area in the building, everybody that's under that management umbrella is moving desks. So we are moving from the first floor behind our daycare to the second floor in the pod across the building, which is the pod across the building. There's a Starbucks in the lobby, so we'll actually be kind of sitting above the Starbucks in our building. So that'll be kind of different, but we're moving next week. So that's kind of interesting. We're trying to figure out our seat assignments and everything. So there's a little bit of craziness going on with work. One of my coworkers, her last day is next Friday. She's taking a new job over at the other building that some people are moving from. And I am learning one or two of her functions. So we've been sitting together. We sat together today. So I'll be taking over some new functions in my department, which is kind of exciting. Doing something new, you know, I'll get exposure to several different things in the company. So that'll be kind of fun. So I get to work with her tomorrow some, and then a little bit next week, as A, we prepare for the move, and B, I prepare to take over a couple of her job duties. So that's kind of interesting fact outside of life. So now we're going to get into haul. All right, so a couple older pieces of haul I want to show you. I did get the newest print issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. The nice thing about getting a subscription to this magazine is you also get access to the digital files, so you can actually download the digital file of the magazine before you get the physical copy of the magazine in the mail. There's quite a few cute patterns in this issue. One of them is Frida by Barbara Anna Designs. It's Dreaming in the Seashore. Whoops. Dreaming in the Seashore. This one's kind of cool. It's A Parade of Elephants by Janine McGowan of the Blue Flower. Parade of Elephants. I'm not going to do a full flip through of the Punch Needle magazine because you guys, there's other channels out there. And then the Bucket Brigade 4th of July by Priscilla Blaine of Stitching with the Housewives. That's really cute. I'm probably going to have to end up doing that series. Speaking of magazine things, so one of my biggest complaints about things that are published in magazines and then later released to the public that don't have subscriptions to magazines is a lot of designers don't necessarily tell you if a pattern that they have for sale later was already released in a magazine. So there is really no searchable database or anything that will tell you if a pattern that you are seeing now was potentially in a magazine that you already own from a couple of years before. There, as far as I know, there is no centralized database that'll tell you if, you know, the Priscilla Blaine Bucket Brigade 4th of July pattern. There's nothing that I know of that's online or anywhere that will tell you that this magazine was in this issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. So if they release it as a separate pattern later on, there's no way that you're going to know that you might already have this pattern in your stash because you have it in a magazine as opposed to in print. So you may actually end up with several, if, you know, one copy, if not several copies of a pattern just because you forgot that it might be in a magazine that you already own. So one of the ideas I have is to at least take the magazines that I own and kind of go through them and document, like I know Lindy Stitches has several patterns in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine that you can actually now purchase on various websites as a PDF pattern or a printed pattern. And so it'd be kind of nice to have a database to refer to where you could get the information to see, you know, was it released in a magazine, and if so, what magazine issue, and also what page number you can find it on, so you can search your, you know, your things to find out if you have it. So that's one of the things I think I'm going to be starting to do with my magazine subscriptions. One of the other things I got fairly recently, I believe since my last thing, was the August issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. Again, I'm not going to be doing flip throughs of all the pieces in here, but they do have, you know, the Christmas ornament preview that has a few really interesting ornaments in it, like the sleigh one here. I like the sleigh one. That one's kind of a full coverage piece. But there's just some other interesting things in Just Cross Stitch. Heaven's a little closer when we are near the water. This is a cute little saying, you know. But anyway, so I got the August issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. And then some of the other things that I did was I recently printed off some Etsy patterns that I had purchased in the past that I didn't think I had printed off. One of the things I just signed up for today, I signed up for the Frosted Pumpkin Snow Globe collection. This, I believe, starts coming out in August. So the Frosted Pumpkin Snow Globe collection. Yep. This is the release date of the patterns. You'll receive them in email if you sign up for it. The first one comes out August 12th, September 9th, October 14th, and November 11th. So I'm looking forward to getting the first thing in the Snow Globe collection. Looking forward to that. One of the other Frosted Pumpkin stitch-alongs that's going on right now that's really popular is the Under the Sea Club. So I did purchase the Under the Sea Club patterns. I believe this one was the last release, the one that's down here. I have not yet kitted this up, nor have I started it. So this is going to go in probably a pile to start next year, along with the Snow Globe thing. So back when the back a couple of months ago, when the Russian invasion of Ukraine started to happen, a lot of people were purchasing patterns on Etsy from Ukrainian designers, and I bought three patterns. Sorry, not 3 patterns. I bought 3 patterns off of an Etsy shop called the Stitchy Princess, or Stitchy Princess Black on Instagram. So the 3 patterns I bought Miss Rabbit. Thought she was really cute. All of these are pretty much the same style. Fairy tale motifs. She's really cute. And then I bought the fox, because who doesn't love foxes? And she's wearing clothes. So these were my purchases when everybody was taking the movement to support Ukrainian designers in cross stitch. This is the one cross stitch Etsy shop that I went to. Then I just printed off some other pieces that I'd already purchased. Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching, they always promote Twin Peak Primitives patterns on their website. This one, Christmas at Dunn Mill, was one of the ones they had, I think, selected last winter. I'm not entirely sure when they promoted this pattern, but this is one of the ones that I had picked out from Twin Peak Primitives based on a recommendation by Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching, so I had printed it off. And then I just have some other patterns that I printed off, like the Lola Crow Cryptid Christmas Mystery Stitch Along. This one came out last year for Christmas, the Cryptid Christmas Mystery Stitch Along. There's a Yeti, a Jackalope. I really got it for the Jackalope. And Mothman. Not a Yeti, a Sasquatch. A Sasquatch, a Jackalope, and a Mothman in here. So, yeah. And then, of course, you know, I have like Ink Circles Relentless. I printed this off. That's going in with my Progress Pride flag. And then Christmas House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. Just some of the PDF patterns that I printed off for Ma's collection. Got stuff going everywhere. And then, yeah, so we're good there. All right, so one of the other things, I will get into some of my full coverage things, and a new thing to me for my full coverage pieces here in a little bit. But one of the things I got, because I have so many full coverage pieces going, and I'm using some sort of parking method to stitch them, which means I have, I'll stitch a block, a 10 by 10 block, and then put the threads that I'm stitching with in the next block where they belong, and I'll park them there until I get to that block to stitch. So it's called parking. And I have all these extra threads hanging. I'll show you those when I get to my progress updates. But people have been buying these bobbins. They're Bobbins, no tangle thread bobbins. So what they are kind of like little rubbery, plasticky little bobbin things like this. So they come like that. They have a back, and essentially you take the top part here, and the top part just flips up. So you flip the top part up, and so that's what it looks like. It looks kind of like a cup. And what you do is you wrap your threads around here, and then you can fold this back over just like that, and it'll keep your threads clean and out of the way. But they're called Bobby's No Tangle Thread Bobbins. So that's kind of what you do with your threads. I got the 1 7/8 diameter, and there's 8 per bag. I got 3 bags of these because I'm going to be using them for my full coverage pieces where I've parked threads. And I'll get into kind of why I got these. These came this last week. I ordered them during Amazon Prime Day, but I don't think they were on sale. But I got them I got them like on Friday or Saturday. So I have a container of Bobby's things. And something that's diamond painting related. So I'm going to do a little diamond painting related thing. Prime Day, my husband was looking on some of the sales for it, and he came across this. This is called Diamond Painting Sealer, and it's by Landbide or Landbead. diamond painting sealer. So it was a pretty good deal. I did get 2 bottles with my order, and he got it for me because he said it looked interesting. It's rapid curing, multi-purpose, all-in-one sealer, non-toxic, and safe, clean, and gloss finish. So I have a sealer that I'm going to be using and hopefully giving a product review sometime soon on a couple of small diamond painting things that I have finished that I need to seal. So be on the lookout for a diamond painting sealer review and usage video coming soon. And I do believe that is it for my haul. All right. Oh, no. I got one other thing. Those of you that know that I've been collecting the Year in the Woods patterns. I've been collecting the Year in the Woods patterns from Cottage Garden Samplings. The newest one is the Barn Owl. The Woodpecker is out now, but I don't have it yet. My needle workshop here in Columbus, Cross My Heart, hasn't called me about it, but I did get the Barn Owl. So I do have pretty much the full set of them, and hopefully we'll be starting those. So that's also going to be either a new start for later this year or a new start for 2023. So the snow globe set and Under the Sea from Frosted Pumpkin are also on my radar for new starts for either late this year or early next year. So be on the lookout for that. Alright, and so that does it for pretty much all of my haul. And next I will get into my stitching progress for this month. So, get my papers down. That's for next month. So here is my stitching log sheet for the month of July. And July is right here. So you can see I've actually done quite a bit of stitching for July. I have quite a few things in there, and I've also tallied how much I'm in. So one of the Facebook challenge groups I'm in is a group called So You Think You Can Stitch. And starting July 1st, they started the Survivor Challenge. So everybody that wanted to participate was put on a team, and we've been having eliminations and immunity challenges going on since the 1st of July. This game goes until August 31st. Just a side note, there's been a little issue come up. So right now the current elimination challenge that was, or immunity challenge that started this afternoon, has temporarily been canceled. There's an issue that the admins in the group have to work through in order to determine where this game is going to go for the So You Think You Can Stitch group. So we're kind of waiting on that because I was up, my stitch leg was up. I was supposed to work on 500 stitches tonight, but that's not going to happen just because of the issue. But anyway, most of the stitches that I've gotten in this month were tagged for the So You Think You Can Stitch Survivor Challenge. Magical Stitches Mystery Facebook group. We're doing the Amanda Lee Cozy Mystery Series. This month we are reading Thread. What are we reading? What are we reading? So, did I write it out? No. No, I didn't write it out. On there. Let's see if I wrote it out in here. Magical Stitches, Retreat, Weekly Event. No. I didn't write it down in there either. Well, that's just goofy. Alright, so I don't know what we're reading for Magical Stitches Mystery. It's one of the books for Amanda Lee. It's the 6th book in the series because we didn't start reading the books until February. So whatever the 6th book in the Amanda Lee Murder Mystery series, is the book we're reading. Sorry, I don't have that information for you. But if you go to, I think Magical Stitches, the group Magical Stitches is closed for this year. They might be opening it up at the end of the year. If I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about that. But, oh, so much going on, so much going on. So anyway, we're doing a spell out event for the weekly events this month. So the weekly events are essentially a monthly event now because we're doing a spell out. But yeah, so we're reading the next book. And the Mystery Estate month-long challenge, the first challenge is work on a whip that has water for 500 stitches and work on a whip with a family fun activity for 500 stitches. So I haven't necessarily picked anything out, but Hidden Harbor that by Haid would work because it has water in it. Saltwater Scrapbook would work because it has water in it. There's all kinds of things that I have that'll work for that. And for the family fun activity, I'm probably going to pull out Amid Amish Life because there's a family having a picnic on their farm. So I may do that, you know, I don't know. It just really depends. So I have that written on my weekly homework. This is my weekly homework log for this week, the different activities that I'm going to be in. For Magic Stitchdom, where you're building your own amusement park, you know, kind of loosely themed on Disney. The movie this month is Up again. It was Up for June. And they're doing the character hunt and the stitching adventure. I haven't been really active in that, so I haven't picked anything out to do for that. And then the Stitch Into the Wild Facebook challenge group, we are doing mountains. You have three items that you have to stitch for before you start hiking looking for the animals, and they did have different prompts for the different animals that you can find in the mountains. So I essentially have to post my third item before I can start hiking and looking for animals. But the next Facebook stitching challenge group is called Floss in Space. I am technically a colonist, so basically I'm just stitching supplies and fuel for the other people that are on teams. And so I've been kind of working on that. For WIPGO, so don't really have any new updates on the WIPGO. So here's my WIPGO board. So all the solid spaces are the ones that I've completed. All the ones that are highlighted in color are ones that have been called but not completed. The ones in gray, like this one here, which is Snow Village, and this one here, which is a project that is part of a series. For the project that is part of the series, I decided that I was going to do Seahorses of the Month by Fireside Originals. So Carol Grant of Fireside Originals, she is one of the owners of my needle workshop here in Columbus, Cross My Heart. She has she designs under the design company name of Fireside Originals, and she came out with the Seahorses of the Month back in 2018. And there's a series of 12 of them, and this is what they all look like stitched up. I bought the series, and I also bought the fabric that they go in. So this is going to be my second square number 18 for July. So my goal is 1,000 stitches on this. So for part of the Survivor Challenge, I picked this out because we had to do sea creatures or sea life. So I picked this out to do for some of the Survivor stitching. So hopefully, I did about 200 stitches on this. I have about 800 stitches to go to put in this to do my WIPGO. So not much progress you're going to see on this, but the 200 stitches, so this was where I had started. I'd finished this earlier, either earlier in the year or end of last year sometime. But I did these motifs at the top and then the seaweed coming down the side, because I was hoping to get over to this seahorse, because there was a prompt in So You Think You Can Stitch Survivor that needed blue. The seahorse here is the January one, and it has some blue stitches in it, but I just decided to use this for part of the stitching because there's about 200 stitches in here with that. But this is the fabric. It was the called for fabric that was actually specially dyed by Crossed Wing Collection, and this is called Marl Lake from Crossed Wing Collection. It's 32 count. I'm stitching it with 2 plies of floss and the DMC. There's some other colors in here that are used, but most of it is DMC floss. So this is where I'm at on Fireside Originals, Seahorses of the Month. And this just came out, I just pulled this out this week to get started on the stitching challenges. You can see my lovely, lovely, lovely Ziploc brand project bag. It's big enough to fit these 11 by 11 crew snaps. These are the 2-gallon jumbo bags. Okay, so that does that. But for WIPGO, I have a long ways to go. I still have, I have March. So for Amid Amish Life, the square for March, I have done 515 stitches on that so far. And I need 1,000 stitches to mark the square complete. So I have just under, I'm just over halfway done. For April, I have square 7 and square 10. That's Princess and the Pea by Heaven and Earth Designs, and Hands-On Design Cookie Exchange. I don't have Cookie Exchange down here, but I showed you the progress, I think, in my last video on Hands-On Design Cookie Exchange that I was working on at StitchCon, and I haven't worked on it since pretty much StitchCon. So I still have that to finish. It's actually pretty close to a finish, and I just really need to get it done. But for Princess and the Pea, with the stitches that I put on her the last 2 weeks, she's up to 766 stitches out of 1,000. And I have her in a GaRon Tottenbags project bag. She was a restart for me because I had her on fabric that I was getting frankly kind of sick of self-gridding. This is just a piece of natural linen, but you can see I was self-gridding using Silky Sliver metallic floss, and I just was to the point where I didn't want to bother gridding it anymore, and I wasn't very far along in it. You can see that's where I wasn't very far along. So I had 32 count easy count fabric, which is the pre-gridded fabric that everybody uses now for full coverage pieces, that I had from Heaven and Earth Designs. And so as part of my thing in here, I decided to restart using the easy count fabric. And don't mind me, but my my fabric things are coming off. So here is where I got in the restart for Princess and the Pea. I'm not as far, but I got 766 stitches in. So you'll notice that I am parking, but I'm doing two rows of 10. So I'm doing what's called a tower. So one of the new things I wanted to bring up with you was about 2 weeks ago, I came across a new type, or a new method rather, of stitching full coverage projects. And the person that kind of started it, the person that kind of coined it on YouTube, her name is Allison Royal, and I think she's called the Royal Stitcher or Royal Stitcher on YouTube. She was doing her full coverage pieces where she would go, she would take a 10 by 20 long rectangle. So she'd do a square of 10 across and 20 down, and she'd stitch all those stitches in that box. She would park any threads that she could carry over below in that same column, and then any ending threads that she was ending, she'd put over to the right. She was finding that by doing this method on her full coverage pieces, she was evading having the creases show up, because sometimes when people stitch full coverage pieces, they'll do it column by column, and then you'll be able to see creases in the finished stitching where you can see where a person ended their, it's kind of like a page marker of sorts. But she was finding that using this method for herself, where she was ending her threads over to the right, it was helping eliminate those creases or those edge lines, so to speak. So she, one of her friends said, well, you know, you're doing it in rows because you're doing all the way across the entire piece, and then you're coming down to the next 2 rows, doing it all the way across the entire piece. So she was stitching in rows, and her last name is Royal. So her friend termed it Royal Rose. So now there's a movement, and it's gaining popularity over the last couple of weeks. There is a Facebook group called Royal Rose, and I believe it's hashtag Royal Rose, but there's a Facebook group for it. And Allison Royal also has her own Facebook group, but she also has the Royal Rose one. But the Royal Rose Facebook group is all about stitching Royal Rose. You can go to her YouTube channel. I think it's called Royal Stitcher because her last name is Royal. Or you can do a YouTube search for Royal Rose Stitching or Royal Rose Cross Stitch, and you'll find links to the YouTube videos where she talks about the whole process. So when I restarted this last week, I went ahead and started with the Royal Rose on this. So I'm going to be working a 10 by 20 set of rows, stitches all the way across. And then when I get over to the end over here, I'm going to come back down here and stitch Royal Rose all the way across again, using my parked threads down here. My finishing threads are over here, but unfortunately all of these blocks, so far the 766 stitches have been in one color. So I will show you Royal Rose a little bit more, a little bit better in my next update for full coverage, my next full coverage piece that's in my update. So that is Princess and the Pea. I don't have hands-on design cookie exchange down here, and I also do not have any of my other, these are my flosses for Princess and the Pea. But she is in my breast cancer GaRon Tottenbags project bag. Alright. So let's see. The next 2 for May are Square 8 and 14, which is Erica Michaels, the 40 count project, Finish It, and Santa of the Forest for 1,000 stitches. On Santa of the Forest, I don't have it down here to show you where I'm at, but the last video I had that had Santa of the Forest in it, you pretty much have seen the progress I've made. But it has, I need 1,000 stitches on it to finish the WIPGO square. And as of yesterday, I have 531 stitches completed in it, so it's just over halfway done as well. For June, it was Square 9 and Square 16. Square 9 was Grim Grinning Ghost Sal. I still haven't put any stitches in it for that, for WIPGO. And Square 16 was to finish a Mill Hill kit. Still haven't decided what Mill Hill kit I'm picking out. I don't know if it's going to be a new one. Probably not, unless it's one of the little small buttons or something. But yeah, I haven't picked any of that out yet. And then July's square was Snow Village I haven't pulled that out just yet. And a WIP that's part of a series, which I'm doing Seahorses, the Seahorses of the Month by Fireside Originals. So far for Seahorses, I put in 214 stitches of the 1,000 that I'm going to ask, that I'm making myself do. So that's pretty much it for that. Several of the groups that I'm involved with Facebook stitching challenges also have cross stitch challenges. So the 24 hours of a cross stitch, 24 hours of cross stitch Facebook group. Their acrostic this month is Refill Your Cup. I have taken some of the letters already and finished them up. So I have Rays of the Sun for Saltwater Scrapbook for 200 stitches for the letter R. That's complete. I have F, Progress Pride Flag for MI Studio Creates. I needed 500 stitches in that. I got that. Octopus, Saltwater Scrapbook. You know, just, I've kind of been filling these in as I go. The magazine monthly challenge group is based on trying to get some of your magazine projects completed. The theme this month is Public Spirit. The acrostic is Honor. I picked Progress Pride Flag for 500 stitches for my Public Spirit because it's supposed to be something that, you know, that has like a movement kind of tied to it, so to speak. So I'm doing Progress Pride Flag. Pop Culture Stitching Challenges Facebook group. The July acrostic is maintenance. You know, because you need to take care of yourself first, so that it's maintenance. And then the free cross stitch stitch along by Creatively Crafting. The new file is out, so the stitching amount is 6,000 stitches. I've done more than that, but yeah. So I'm kind of working through getting that. And Full Coverage Fanatics, I'm not participating in it, is doing the Tour de France right now. It goes until the 24th. I thought I was maybe going to participate in this. I haven't started. And it's ending this week. So yeah, I'm not doing Full Coverage Fanatics. And that's pretty much it for everything else. That's pretty much it for everything else. There we go. But yeah, so the Royal Rose, I'll get back into Royal Rose here in a minute. It was a method designed by Allison Royal, the Royal Stitcher on YouTube. Her FlossTube number 4 explains the method, and it's hashtag Royal Rose, ROYALROWS. There is a Facebook group. She's considering making a game based on Royal Rose. And it's basically a column of 10 across by 20 high. That is called a tower. You stitch in towers all the way across your full coverage piece to the right. And you park your threads below your tower in what's called the dungeon. So it's below your tower. And it's intended to help remove the lines in your finished piece. Finishing your threads to the right and clipping them and then stitching over those threads helps to prevent the tension from pulling by making the indentations showing where you stopped and started. Let's see. All right, so I kind of wanted to show the Progress Pride Flag. This is a pattern by MI Studio Creates on Etsy. So that is the Progress Pride Flag. I pulled this out for Pride for June. And one of the challenges that I was in, we had to stitch a lot on different colors. So we had to use basically the rainbow of colors. So I got a lot of stitching completed on this based on that. So you can see I've parked a lot of these threads, a lot of these thread colors, because one day I might have to do red, green, and purple. The next day I might have to do orange, yellow, and green. The next day blue, green, and red. So I was doing my 100 stitch increments using Progress Pride Flag. So that is kind of where I got to on Progress Pride Flag. And then, let's see, so I sewed Princess and the Pea, Progress Pride Flag, the Seahorses. The next piece I worked on for the challenges was Saltwater Scrapbook by Lindy Stitches and the Blue Flower. You may remember this set of patterns that came out. It doesn't say when it came out. I think it was last year, 2021. These came out last year. You could buy, from Lindy Stitches, you could buy the kit that came with the fabric and some of the flosses and the project bag. So I have the kit with the project bag. So I am doing this. I am doing the piece all in one, just like this. And the square that I was working on for most of the challenges was the octopus, and this is where I got. So when I first started working on it, he didn't have a hat, he didn't have a shovel, he didn't have a flag, he didn't have a bucket, he didn't even have a sandcastle, and in fact he didn't even have, I think, this arm, or this arm, or any of these arms. So I actually got quite a lot of stitching done on him. So yeah. And this one is, I'm working one strand over two, using the called for flosses on the called for fabric. And I'm really loving it. It's 40 count, so it's actually turning into 20 count. And I'm finding with this, stitching this is a crap ton of fun. And I'm having fun stitching with one thread because you don't have to use a laying tool or anything to smooth it out. It just kind of goes. Wow, this is turning out to be quite a long video. Sorry, guys. Not so sorry. It's been a month. So that was a Saltwater Scrapbook. And my last piece that I have to show you that I'll get into Royal Rose a little bit more is Heaven and Earth Designs Hidden Harbor. So this was a piece that Noah Baker, Noah Stitches here on YouTube, he and another internet friend of his decided to start this last year as a piece of theirs. And so I was encouraged. I've always had my eye on this piece. I was encouraged by their start to go out and purchase it on Heaven and Earth Designs. And so here is my progress on Hidden Harbor. So you will see in this piece, you will see, let me do this. So you will see that I was doing the stair-step method, the stair-step parking method here. So I was doing blocks of 10 in a diagonal stair-step. And for Royal Rose, the Royal Rose is you'd stitch a 10 by 20 tower and then do it all the way across. So for the stitches in the last 2 weeks, I started converting this from the diagonal stair step method to the Royal Rose, where I was stitching 10 by 20 blocks all the way across. So my goal is to get all the way across and then to start down here. But as you can see, I'm parking threads here and still parking threads over here. The reason why I'm doing that is because these threads don't carry down here, but they do carry across. So I'm going to continue across with these threads as far as I can, and then do the Royal Rose down here. So this piece will continue being done with the Royal Rose until I'm all the way across. And then I'll just continue with the Royal Rose. But you can see I have all these threads hanging here. And this is why I bought the Bobbins things, because this is how all my parked full coverage pieces look. You know, the threads, they're not tangled. They just don't look very clean and very nice sitting here. So I'm going to take the bobbins and wind my threads up in the bobbins, and it'll help keep them from looking like this. At least that's the hope. So anyway, this is a good example of going from like a diagonal stair step method of working this way diagonally to doing Royal Rose. You can kind of see the difference in it. And I did also work on this piece for So you think you can stitch challenges this last week and a half, 2 weeks. So that is all my progress for the middle of July. That is it, you guys. That is it. I don't have any new starts for you. I don't have anything. The only thing I do have is for the Magazine Monthly Challenge group. Oh, so we're going to get into plans now. They've released their August thing. The theme for August is trees because it's Robin's birthday month. So your the premise, the suggested premise, is to look through your magazine pictures, your magazine patterns, and find something that you can attribute to trees. So I have a couple of magazine patterns already in mind. We're starting to get into fall, so for August I may actually pull out the owl piece that's sitting on a branch. I may do that. May pull out 2 of them and work on those, because the whole premise behind this Magazine Monthly Challenge group is you take the theme and you pick a magazine pattern out of one of your magazines that you want to stitch. The whole goal is to start finishing magazine patterns. So the acrostic can be any type of pattern that you want, or any type of craft, really. But they would prefer you to do the theme as a magazine piece, and then you can pick anything else. Some people are taking it strictly all magazines, and they're doing magazine pieces for the acrostic and the theme. Some people are mixing it up. Some people haven't picked any magazine patterns for the theme. They do just whatever whips they have on hand. It's just whatever's getting you stitching, you guys. So this month for July, Progress Pride Flag wasn't a magazine piece. It was an Etsy piece. I put that as my theme. I've been trying to keep these true to the original premise of the Facebook group, but this month I just couldn't come up with anything that was public spirit related. So for Magazine Monthly Challenge, the theme next month is trees for Robin's birthday. The acrostic is bird or birdhouse, or both if you want more of a challenge. So that's the only thing for next month that has come out yet. And the 27th is when Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff picks the next 2 WIPGO squares. So we'll know those in a couple of days. Actually, we won't know those until next week. Hi, hon.
Hey, babe.
So that is all I have. One of the new things that just came out, those of you that are in the stitching retreat realm of cross stitch knows that there are always new retreats and stuff coming up, and we just got through with StitchCon, which happened down in Cincinnati in June. That was a lot of fun. You've seen my StitchCon wrap up video. It was a lot of fun. Had a blast. Anyway, Steel City Stitchers here on YouTube hosted their first annual retreat earlier this year, back in February. And they have announced on their YouTube channel, there's a video out talking about Steel City Stitchers Retreat for 2023. So the information for the retreat is out. You can go to the Steel City Stitchers YouTube page to watch the video about it. Basically, it's happening next year in March, from the March 24th to March 26th, 2023, at the Sheraton Airport Hotel near Robinson, Pennsylvania. It's in Pennsylvania. And they put information on their video about when registration and everything's supposed to open up. So I encourage you, if you want to go to a stitching retreat next March, hosted by the Steel City Stitchers, I encourage you to look them up. Go to their YouTube channel. There's a video out there about the retreat, and you can get the information you need. I don't know if I'm gonna go. I might sign up and get on the waiting list to see what happens, but I don't know if I'll go. It just really kind of depends. Mom and I are going to Camp Gotta Stitch at the end of September. My needlework shop here in Columbus, Cross My Heart, owned by Carol and Jenny. They host a cross-stitch retreat every fall, usually September, October, November, in Amish country here in Ohio, and we go spend the weekend and stitch. It's just a very low-key, all-you-can-stitch weekend. You know, you talk, you have fun. They give away little things throughout the weekend that are based, centered around the theme of the weekend, and it's just, you know, kind of a low-key stitching retreat. There's roughly about 60 people there. I will put the information down below how you can get in contact with them to see if there's still room. As far as I know, I think a week or two ago I was told they still have about 20 to 25 spots left for this year's stitching retreat. So if you're interested in going to a very small retreat, I encourage you to give them a call. I will put the shop's contact information down below, and they will tell you how you can get on their waiting list or on their notification list for Camp Gotta Stitch. Camp Gotta Stitch is happening September 30th through October 2nd up in Berlin, Ohio, which is Amish country, and it's about an hour to an hour and a half northeast here of Columbus. So it's up in Amish country. It's a really nice, very low-key event. And then the first weekend in November, my mom and I are going back to Stitching in the Springs retreat. If you remember last year, Mom and I went to a stitching retreat, a brand new stitching retreat happening in Yellow Springs, Ohio, which is near Springfield. It's about an hour away from here. It was a brand new stitching retreat hosted by a lady that works at the Mill Run. Well, she works at the kind of fancy little hotel there in Yellow Springs, and she's an avid stitcher. So she worked with the hotel and created this stitching retreat. There wasn't too many of us there last year. It was a very small retreat. The hotel that we're at, though, only has 28 rooms. So you can imagine, you know, 50 people. That's yeah, so the hotel would be completely full of stitchers. But anyway, I don't know if the Stitching in the Springs retreat has any openings left, but if you do, if you Google search or I think even Facebook search Stitching in the Springs retreat in Yellow Springs, Ohio, you'll be able to find the information about that. The lady that kind of coordinates that whole retreat, her name is Kat. If you watch any of Sammy J's Stitches, she came up to the retreat from Texas last year, and that was great to meet her. And it's just a very small retreat, very laid back. There's no real structure to it. You just sit and stitch all weekend. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to the 2 retreats this year. So I don't know, with me going to StitchCon, I don't know if adding the Steel City Stitchers retreat in March will be in the budget. But I also know that Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching, Keepsakes Cross Stitch, where Stephanie works down in Cincinnati, they host a stitching retreat in January called Stitch Away, and it's down at Houston Woods State Park, kind of down in that area. And so that's also coming up in January. I don't know the details about that, but if you look up Keepsakes or Stitch Away, you can go to keepsakes.com. They'll probably have some information about Stitch Away and how to get on that. StitchCon waitlist registration, I don't think is opened yet. It might not open until after August 1st. But anyway, you can go to stitchcon.com and find out more information about that, or watch Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching. They usually are really good about giving updates on the Keepsake stitching retreats, including Stitch Away and StitchCon, so you can go there to get that as well. Other than that, I really don't have any plans. I'm just gonna hopefully get through the next probably 4 to 6 weeks through August and September, trying to get some of my WIPGO pieces knocked out. I'd like to get my WIPGO pieces caught up by Gotta Stitch at the end of September, but I don't know. We have a lot of stuff going on, just a lot of events and whatnot. The 24 Hours of Cross Stitch Marathon Group, they have a 24 hours marathon weekend coming up every quarter, and the next one is coming up this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the next 24 Hours of Cross Stitch Marathon is this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, July 22nd to the 24th. The next one isn't until October, and the October one will be the last one for the year. So there is that as well. I think it'd be kind of a neat thing to come up with, just kind of a, post it out there. Hey, I'm going to this place, I'm going to this hotel, I'm going to this cabin, I'm going to this state park, X weekend for 3 days. And if you're a stitcher and you'd like to go, here's the contact information for how you can get a room, and I'd like to meet you. We can sit and stitch all weekend and have fun and just kind of hang out. If I think it would be kind of fun to just do kind of spontaneous things like that and just let other stitchers know. It's just kind of like a random, hey, I'm going to be in this part of the country. If you're interested in meeting, here's the contact information. Get yourself a room, and we'll just kind of have an informal, let's get in the lobby and stitch. Or, hey, I have a suite, we can all stitch in my room kind of thing. I thought that would be kind of fun to try and do that. So I may just say, hey, look, I want to go stay at this hotel for this weekend. If you're interested, come visit with me. We probably wouldn't have a stitching room, so we'd probably be stitching in the lobby, or at least finding some place that we can stitch. I don't know if a hotel would let us take a meeting room, and kind of bounce around meeting rooms without actually having them reserved. I don't know all that. I don't want to make a full big retreat though, and it's just going to be something where, if you want to come, you just get a room, your food's on you, your travel's on you, your room's on you. We don't really have anything. It's just a get together of people that want to stitch. So I don't know, I may do that sometime, I may not, I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff going on. So that's really all I have for you now. This video's over an hour. I kind of figured it would be a little long, but I did have a lot of stuff to talk to you about. So hopefully you'll enjoy my Stitch With Me video. Put that back here. Just put that in the back. But anyway, hopefully you'll enjoy my Stitch With Me video that is coming up for you, hopefully tonight. Yeah, we'll kind of take it from there and see where we go. Other than that, I really don't have any plans. I'm not going to tell you what I'm working on, except I'm going to try and plug through some of my WIPGO things. I told you some of the projects that I'm hoping to work on for this week and next week. Amid Amish Life, Princess and the Pea, Santa the Forest, if I decide to get it out, Grim Grinning Ghosts, Snow Village, The Seahorses. Those are some of the ones that, Saltwater Scrapbook, that's another one that I'm hoping to work on a little bit more this week. So you can see this is my homework sheet for this week. And that's about all I have for you. Just stitching on WIPGO stuff and just trying to get through some of these Facebook challenge prompts. And hopefully the Survivor game will continue to go on for So You Think You Can Stitch. We're just waiting on additional information. one thing that's actually kind of cool, somebody reached out to the StitchCon attendee Facebook group that you can only be a part of if you're a paid attendee of StitchCon. They reached out to the StitchCon Facebook group looking for people in Ohio that don't live in Ross County. Ross County is down near Chillicothe, Ohio. And so they were looking for judges for the Ross County Fair for the weekend of August 4th. 4th, 5th, and 6th. For August 6th. They were looking for judges to come down and judge some of the arts and crafts events for the Ross County Fair. And I was kind of interested in it, so I asked for some more information. So I am going down on Saturday, August 6th, which happens to be my husband's birthday. I'm going down to the Ross County Fairgrounds down near Chillicothe, Ohio. And I'm going to be judging a county fair cross stitch contest, and I've also agreed to do the adult cookies for the Ross County Fair. So that'll be kind of an interesting thing. I have entered pieces in the Ohio State Fair for things in the past. It's been over 10, or it's been actually 20 years. It's been like 20 years since I've entered anything in the Ohio State Fair. I'm really overdue. I need to get back into doing that. I have a couple of pieces that I've been intending to enter in the Ohio State Fair. I just haven't. So my husband's been trying to get me to do that again. I need to do that. So I think next year I'm probably going to try and re-enter something in the Ohio State Fair again. So anyway, I'm going down to judge the cross-stitch categories for the Ross County Fair and also for the adult cookies for the Ross County Fair entries. So that should be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to it. She said you didn't really need any qualifications per se, other than, you know, you kind of know what you're looking at, and you can't be a Ross County resident. So I live in Franklin County, so I'm going down there. It's about an hour drive, so that'll be a fun little event to do on Saturday, August 6th. So I'll be talking a little bit about that. I don't know if I'll be able to post pictures, and I don't know what's going on because technically the fair is not open that day, but we get to go down there and just kind of hang out for a little while. I get to judge the events, and some of the food vendors will be open and stuff down there, so we'll get to check it out. They also have a tractor pull that night, so that'll be kind of interesting, and I'll get to kind of see what the Ross County Fairgrounds look like. So I'm excited about that. And that is really all my plans. So that is all I have for you this week. I'm not going to apologize for these videos being long. If you don't like these long videos, you know, I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to change. There's a lot of content in here because it's been 4 weeks since my last update. I had a lot to talk to you about. If you don't like long videos, don't watch them. That's all I got to say. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. I'm just kind of keeping busy. Work's going to be crazy the next couple of weeks because we're moving next week, and the week after that we're unpacking in our new area, getting used to where our desks and everything are, getting used to, you know, coming in a new door and all that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I know the Ohio State Fair starts next Wednesday, I believe. It goes for 10 days. So I don't know if I'll be going to the state fair. I'd kind of like to. I like going to the state fair. It's a lot of fun. I like walking through the crafts. I like seeing rabbits. Rabbits are my thing when I go to the fair. But I think the rabbits are usually the last weekend. It used to be the first few days of the fair, but they switched it to the last weekend the fair is open. So I don't know if I'll be going to the fair because I'll be going down to the Ross County Fairgrounds that weekend. I don't know. We'll just see what happens, see what's going on, and we'll kind of take it from there. So that's all I've got for you this week. I hope you're staying well. I hope you're staying hydrated. I hope you're staying out of the sun. And hopefully, you know, you're taking care of yourself because that's what matters most. Take care of yourself first. You come first. That's all I got. So until my next video, keep on keeping on, because that's all we can do. And take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.